Erika Kirk is demanding a speedy trial in the case against her husband's accused killer, Tyler Robinson, after she claims his defense team is delaying proceedings.
Something doesn't add up here. Erika Kirk is suddenly pushing the court to rush Charlie's case right as more strange details from her past start resurfacing. Is she suddenly eager to find out the truth? Or is something else forcing her hand? Now, I'm sure some of you have already seen this news, but if you haven't, let me give you a quick recap.
Erika Kirk is demanding a speedy trial in the case against her husband's accused killer, Tyler Robinson, after she claims his defense team is delaying proceedings. The new filing from Erika Kirk's attorney reads in part, quote, "Nobody believed in the importance of the United States Constitution more than Charlie Kirk. And although the United States Constitution guarantees criminal defendants many rights, it does not guarantee them the right to cause undue delay in the criminal justice process." This follows Friday's hearing on a defense motion to disqualify the prosecution team for conflict of interest after they argue one of the prosecutor's children was present when Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Now, keep this in mind. She's allowed to request a speedy trial because, as far as the court is concerned, she's the designated victim in this case.
Is one of the many states that also grants victims the right to a speedy resolution.
Thanks, Your Honor. Yes, just the matter of having Mrs. Erika Kirk designated as the victim representative in this case. She has filed through her counsel a request to be designated as the victim representative.
This court will recognize Ms. Erika Kirk as the designated victim representative in this case. Thank you.
So the real question is, why now? Why all of a sudden does she want this case wrapped up as fast as possible? And honestly, there are two very different ways to look at this. On one hand, you could say she's just tired of all the legal drama and wants justice to finally be served. That sounds reasonable at first, but that explanation starts falling apart when you remember she's publicly forgiven the alleged assassin multiple times already.
Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
So if she's not doing this to see Tyler Robinson actually get punished, then why ask for a speedy trial at all? Well, her own interviews might give us a clue as to why she suddenly wants this case over and done with.
Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
I want justice for my husband. Anytime we have leads, anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. We're not messing around. None of us are involved in my husband's murder. None of us.
Here's the simple reality. As long as this case drags on, people are going to keep digging into her past and digging into the organization she now runs. And the timing matters. She gave these interviews right when people were already furious over that $10,000 a plate fundraiser she held at Mar-a-Lago.
Erika Kirk is concerned. So over the weekend, Erika Kirk and Turning Point USA, they held a high-dollar gala at Mar-a-Lago, and they brought in millions of dollars, and they partied the night away. Now, Turning Point has held these parties in previous years, but this one, it was the biggest, the most extravagant yet, and it carried this special focus of gearing Turning Point USA around Erika Kirk, and of course, its donors. Moving the organization forward as a controlled organ. This is a dinner that was worth tens of millions of dollars, at least. This was a $10,000 a plate dinner at bare minimum. That was just the bargain basement rate to get in. and roughly 1,000 so-called conservatives, they all showed up to this party.
Then things only got worse when people didn't like the way she was acting at AmFest.
And you can see from behind me, this is a recreation of the tent where Charlie Kirk lost his life at Utah University in September, and people are taking selfies with it.
And over the last couple of weeks, a very different side of Erika has been introduced to the public as more and more strange details from her past keep coming out.
With that, because I've lived all over the country too, or all over the world and country, but when I lived in China, I saw firsthand the freedoms in Technicolor that I take for granted, that they have no idea what it's like to experience. And I'm here today with the incredible Dr. Peter Pry. He is the Executive Director of the Task Force on National and Homeland Security and Director of the U.S. Nuclear Strategy Forum, both congressional advisory boards. He has served on the Congression EMP Commission, the Congression Strategic Posture Commission, the House Armed Services Committee, and the CIA. He is also the author of Apocalypse Unknown. Thank you so much for being here, Dr.
Well, thank
Pry.
you for having me, too.
I mean, just the other day, I came across this video, which claims that someone named Lori Francevay, allegedly connected to AZ Tech, was using multiple names. It also claims that her companies were listed in leaked documents alongside NSA-linked suppliers. Now, to be clear, we don't actually know if this person is Lori or Lauren or even if it's Erika's mother at all, but you can understand why people are digging into Erika's family background. A lot of folks are trying to figure out how she was able to get close to not just former high-ranking CIA officials, but also people like Dr. Ben Carson, who served under President Trump during his first term.
Our country was founded on faith, just how you said, and also the American dream. And so often I find that we are so caught up on being politically correct, and I feel like that's made us a softer nation. I would like for you to just highlight on the fact of political correctness and what you think my generation prior and previous, what we can do to make us not seem so soft as a nation.
Someone else also pointed out that Erika is Facebook friends with the guy who removed the cameras. The same guy who also happened to be the first person to publicly announce Charlie's death.
They just shot Charlie. He's dead. God help him.
And then you've got people making even wilder claims on top of that.
This is Erika Kirk. Another Erika Kirk. Same exact name, same exact spelling, both political wives, both married to outspoken Republicans. Current Erika is nicknamed Miss Arizona, and the first Erika was nicknamed Madam X. People called the first Erika Kirk Madam X because they say she just kind of showed up out of nowhere. Both have striking blue eyes and blonde hair. They even do their eyeliner the same, and personally, I think they have the same face structure. The first Erika Kirk passed away now, but was from Palm Beach County, Florida, which raises another huge red flag. If you've been following my videos, you know why. I don't want to tell you guys what to think. I'm simply giving you the information. Do you think these are like all coincidences, or is there something else going on here?
So yeah, you can see how all this digging really isn't doing her any favors. Especially at the same time, she's out there announcing new TP USA tours. We also know she has big plans for this organization moving forward, and all this public scrutiny is probably getting in the way of those plans.
What do you hope to achieve for Charlie and for the country?
Oh my goodness. All of his wildest dreams for this organization and more. He left me a blueprint and all of his journals, but more so than that, I was his vault for literally everything. He shared everything with me, his vision, his dreams, and I know now more than ever, I mean, he was always a hard worker, but now more than ever, he's up in heaven orchestrating and sitting and strategizing, and I can just feel it. I can feel it. And so all I want is to be able to make sure we honor Charlie.
So it wouldn't be crazy to think she just wants all of this behind her as fast as possible. That said, there are a lot of people who believe a speedy trial might actually prevent us from finding out the full truth. Normally, I'd agree with them, but in this case, I'm not so sure. Because let's be honest, a lot of people don't even think they caught the right guy in the first place. Most people tuning into the court proceedings aren't expecting answers. They're watching to see how the prosecution explains those fake-sounding texts, or how they explain why the people running the investigation kept making statements that later looked flat out wrong.
In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, in 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie.
I think the process went pretty well considering we got him in 33 hours.
Yeah. We apprehended our suspect in 33 hours because we were transparent and open with the American public, and we're going to continue to do that.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country.
They're also going to have to explain all the weirdness around the rifle. The same rifle we never really saw in Tyler's hands in any of the videos released so far. In fact, Tyler Robinson might be the only guy at UVU who wasn't actually seen holding a gun, even though multiple people there were reportedly armed.
Hey, officer! Officer! Can you mark out with your chief?
And personally, I'm very interested to hear what they have to say about the autopsy, because we all know how strange that whole situation was. First, we were told no autopsy was performed.
So I did do the request. They emailed me back. He did not go in for an autopsy. The death certificate was signed by the doctor at the hospital.
Oh, okay. Can you just do a field clip documenting that?
I'm sorry, 10-9?
Can you just add a step to the case documenting that there was no autopsy?
Then, suddenly, we found out that an autopsy was completed, but apparently everyone involved was brand new on the job.
Also, I told you there was a new CEO and therefore a new lead surgeon, Andrew Zenger, over at the hospital, the regional hospital that Charlie was taken to, although that was not the nearest hospital from the university, and it also ranked extremely low in terms of the most best equipped hospital, if you will, to deal with the sort of trauma that Charlie was suffering from, a neck wound, obviously. I was also informed that the coroner in this case was also brand spanking new. That name has not yet been released. I am told that person is new.
I really want to hear how they explain all of this madness, but I don't think the full truth is going to come out in court. From day one, this investigation has looked shaky, with the FBI arresting Tyler before interviewing key witnesses or following every lead.
Well, here's a good example. Harrison, you posted 2 weeks before Charlie Kirk died that there was a credible threat against his life. Has the FBI reached out to you to ask you about that?
No.
If you're new to seeing my face, I was in the front row of the Charlie Kirk thing. It's kind of hard for me to say it, but I was there. The interview that I had on Real America's Voice, they reached out to me after seeing my videos. Long story short, they reach out to me like on an interview, like on the news. At the end of the interview, basically, he was like, okay, real quick, like long story short, has the FBI like reached out to you yet to see like your witness statement, like whatnot? And I just said no. So basically, it was like a super dramatic thing. And then the next day, I get a call from an unknown number, and I was like, huh, that's weird. I wonder who this is. Like, I literally thought in my head, I'm like, oh, this has to be like the FBI. He called me, and he was like, hey, is this Chance Gilbert? And I was like, yes. Like, hey, man, in our records, somehow we found you, and were you there on like the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination? And I was like, yes, I was.
So no, I don't think a speedy trial is going to help us find the truth. But I do think there are a lot of people who would be very happy to see this case closed as quickly as possible.